Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the processes in Power Platform or Dataverse. So we have different kind of processes. So first we have classic processes. These are your workflows, your actions, and your business process flow, or commonly known as BPF. And then you also have your other processes like Power Automate, which is asynchronous only. That means that it only works in the background. And then you also have your plugins, which is asynchronous and also synchronous, which means that it works in the background if you want it, but it could also work in real time if you need it to do that. So classic processes are the original built-in automation tools in Dataverse used before Power Automate became the modern standard. They allow organizations to automate business logic directly inside the platform without code. The classic process types, as I said, include the workflows, the business process, and the actions. And also they used to have something called dialogues, but it has been deprecated now. These processes run on the server side and are tightly integrated with Dataverse records, making them reliable for validating data, updating fields, and guiding users through structured steps. Um, so today we're going to be doing workflows. So workflows are triggered on some kind of event, like a create event or update event or a delete event, in order to automate business processes. Each workflow is associated with a single table. So that's like your contact or your account, or your leads, or any custom table that you create. Automation does not require user interaction. It does not need any user interaction. So if you create a contact, it will run based on that event. Workflows can be initiated either manually or automatically. So when you decide on the event, you could either write on the background to run automatically or in real time as well. But also you can do it on demand. So you have to, with a click of a button, you can start the workflow. You can run workflows as asynchronous or synchronous as well. So that is real time or background work. So I'll show you how that's done. So to create a workflow, what you need to do is you need to come to your solution here. So this is our solution. You click on new, and then you go on automation. And from automation, you go down here on processes, and in here is where you want to create your workflow. So you have actions, business process flow, workflow, which we will cover in upcoming videos, but for today we'll do workflow. So you click on that one, you will name your workflow. So I'll call this account workflow because I want it to be on my account table, and then you will choose that table. So you know how I told you it runs on a single entity? Well, it runs on a single table. So you will have to choose your table that you want it on. So mine is going to be the account table. And then here you can choose whether you want to start from a blank page or you want to start from a template. I don't really have a template, so I'll start from a blank page. And all you have to do is create. Once you click create, it will take you to a different page in here. And in here is where you actually choose what you want to do. So this is a designer, the workflow designer right here, you can see. So this is the name of the process, and you can activate it as a process, obviously. This is a process template or process, which is a process. The entity is going to be the account. Category is going to be a workflow. This is not a business process flow or actions. This is a workflow. And then here is important. So the scope. The scope here, you can use it as a user scope, which means that it will run for that specific user. Or if you want to do it for your team members as well, you can do it for the business unit. Or if you want to do it for your whole organization, you can choose the organization scope. Typically, when you're creating business processes, you create it for the whole organization, not really for a specific individual user. And in here is the event. So you can say when a record is created, or when a record starts change, or when a record is assigned, or when a record field change. So if you click in here, you can choose actually the field. So that could be address field or a contact field or contact number field, and so on, so on, like a post office box. There's a whole field, so you can choose a specific field if you need to. We're not doing that today. We're just doing when a record is created. And also here is available to run. You can run it by default. It's going to run on the background, but if you look here, you can always convert it to real time as well. And then you can also run either the child process or on-demand process. Today we will look at the background process and also the on-demand process. But what you need to do to create that workflow is to go on step here. Just click on it. And as you can see here, you have your check condition, wait condition, which we will cover in upcoming videos, and other like perform action, change status, send email. These are all the tests that you could do. But today we'll just do on create record. And in here is what you want to do, right? What you want to do. And I will choose task, right? Because what I want to do is I want to create a task. So on create of account, I want to create a task reminder that says contact the account holder or that company and give them, offer them our service, right? So it's going to be on the create of contact or create of account and also the properties. So you'll see here, so subject, let's call it account workflow. And you can give it a description as well, right? You can say contact, or you can just say call account holder, account company within 2 days of being created. So every time that is created, it is due within 48 hours. And as you can see here, it has a regarding here. This is a dynamic value. Basically, this is how it ties it to the account table. And if you go lower here, you want to do the due date, right? Because I want it to be within 2 days. So what you can do is you can put it, you can put a due date on here, but the way you put it here, because if you just put a date here, it's not going to be accurate, right? You can choose from here, but that's not going to be accurate. What you want to do is a dynamic value that changes based on when it was created on. So if you go on the right hand side here, I will choose 2 days because I want it within 2 days. So 2 days after. So not before, but after. You can choose after the account is created on. So if you read it, you can read it as 2 days after the account is created on. That's the due date. What you do is you just click add, created on account, and then you just click OK. So if you look here, it says 2 days after created on account. Okay, so when the account is created, 2 days after that is when it is due. So you use dynamic values for that. On the owner field, you don't need to worry about that because automatically it will assign it to the owner of that account. Anything else, you don't need to do that. So I will save and close. So once I save and close, this is all done, and I'll just basically save here. And every time you create a work flow process, you need to make sure that it is activated. So I will activate it. So that's done. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my expense management app. I'm going to be on accounts, and I'm going to create a new account. So I could call this QLD. Just call it QLD. That's the account, and I will save it. And if you see here, nothing happens on my timeline because normally I'm supposed to get a reminder that says to contact them. I'm supposed to get a workflow that says contact that account holder within 2 days. The reason for that is because this flow is running on the background. It's not real time. If it runs on the background, it's going to be a bit slower. So if I was to refresh here, I'm to refresh, and as you can see, it comes. The reason it's a bit delayed is because this is asynchronous. It's running in the background, so it's going to be a bit delayed as opposed if it was running in real time. And all you have to do now is, this is a task, call account company within 2 days of being created. I can open the record here. And as you can see, it is due on the 1st of December. So today is the 29th. It's due in 2 days, and that is the 1st of December. This account, for the description, you can put any description I want, but I put mine as call account company within 2 days of being created. And as you can see, the regarding here, you have a foreign key which associates that account that was created with this task, with this workflow. From here, I can say mark as complete. If I complete that task, I can say mark as complete. That's done. And then if you see here, task completed. So there's no need to do anything further. So that's done. But what I can do now is I could also change it to on-demand process. So if I deactivate it, also just keep in mind that you could always add more steps. So you could add more steps to do more different tasks that you need. It doesn't just have to be one. You can add more tasks that needs to be done based on the event. So I'm going to change it to on-demand process, and then I'll activate it. And now I'll create a new account, and then you can run it on demand. So basically what I can do is I'm going to create a new account, see what kind of accounts I have. I'll just go here. And I'll say ANZ. I'll save it. And if you go here on processes, or you can go on flow, see here where it says flow, and it says run workflow. So I'm going to run my account workflow. That's the one that I created because I have made it into run on demand. So if I click this button, this workflow will be applied to one account. I'll click OK. And that's it. So that has been done. All I need to do now is if I refresh it, you will see that task. And then this is an on-demand task. And all I have to do is go in here and then just mark as complete. And that's done. It's the same thing if you want it to run in real time. So if I want it to run in real time, I can deactivate it here. And what I can do is convert to real-time workflow. That's all you have to do. And then you'll activate it. Process activation confirmed. Yeah. And then just activate it. So if I go back and if I was to create a new account, I'll just go yes, and I'll just say save. And as you can see, it comes right away because now this is real-time workflow. So there's no delay as soon as you create the contact because this is a real-time workflow. So this is basically it for workflows. You can explore a little bit more as well, but as we go in the next couple of videos, we will go a bit more, we will dive a bit more into business processes as well. So BPF as a business process flow to guide us into completing a task. With this one, you can just click on this, which will mark to complete, and you can say completed as well, close task. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them on the comments below. And if there's anything that you want to see in terms of Dataverse or model-driven apps, just type it down in the comments below and I will be answering your question, or I can make a video as well based on what you request. Thank you.